It all began in 1988, the so-called second summer of love. Late at night, cars full of revelers packed normally deserted motorways. They gathered at service stations and waited for a tip-off. The location of an open field or a disused warehouse. It was all kept last minute to prevent the authorities from getting there first. The police thought they might breach the peace. The kids said they just wanted to dance to a new music called acid house. But there was one other crucial element. The new dance music arrived at the same time as a new drug called ecstasy.
I'll give you medicine now.
The subject is being given 75 milligrams of ecstasy, about 3/4 of a street tab, the largest ever officially sanctioned dose in the US.
And then this is some water.
As much water as you can.
Nothing's happening to me yet. No, there's nothing happening. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, something's definitely happening. Yeah, something's definitely happening. I'm feeling little shivers running down my spine. No, it's not that bad. Whoops! It just came again. Yeah, it's coming. It's something that runs up your spine. Is it a girl? Is it a spider? No, it's just that little feeling.
Do you feel more awake?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to do like a 5 times table thing, but I won't mind dancing.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I could get into loud music right now. Loud music and girls. No, not really. Dancing with girls, yeah. I did the same form earlier, but now I admit to being unhappy a little bit more. But it's because it's cool to be unhappy. There's nothing wrong with being unhappy and depressed and things like that. That's the kind of feeling I've got now. That you don't have to think, oh my God, there's something wrong with you if you're sad. It's cool to be sad. Yeah. I could give politicians a couple of tips. I'd like to meet the Pope right now and share some of my newfound wisdom with him. No, it's just a calm, really just a calm feeling.
However good ecstasy makes you feel, it is dangerous. It has killed. But how necessary is it? Can people listen to pounding, repetitive music without any drugs and still be ecstatic? If there is more to the experience than drugs, what is it? The psychology department of Leeds University tried to find out for us. It wasn't easy. Most psychological tests would be impractical in the hot and crowded conditions of a club. A solution. An adjective checklist. 4 times during the night, a group of 45 ravers would be asked to mark on a line how much of a particular emotion they felt. 20 adjectives cross-referenced would give a glimpse into their state of mind. There were 3 groups: regular ravers on drugs, regulars who weren't, and occasional clubbers as a control. The first finding was unequivocal.
They're having a very good time. They're having a very, very good time. Now, in a sense, we can only assess that by their responses to the positive emotions and by comparing those responses to the negative emotions. And they are, in effect, 6 times more positive than they are negative.
People having fun usually seek out a specific emotion: excitement in a horror film, sociability at a party. But nearly all 30 regular ravers, whether on drugs or not, marked every positive emotion near maximum. They were energetic and absorbed, excited and sociable, happy in every way.
Emotional responses are consequences. That I feel happy when something good happens, but usually I can say what the good thing is. The somewhat odd thing about what seems to be happening to these people at the club is that the response seems to be without content. It's just good. It's just a massive buzz.
I can never escape as much as I can when I go raving. A really good game of sport, like a really good game of squash or something, is good fun, and you forget about everything else. But nothing else compares to the way you lose yourself on a night out, raving.
They don't want things with a lot of content in. I don't mean content in the sense that it's empty. I mean content in the sense that they have to think about things and understand in any sort of conscious or aware manner. If the music in these sorts of clubs had lyrics, the responses would be nothing like those that we found.
The most striking conclusion was that there was no difference in the happiness level of regular clubbers on drugs and those who weren't. The real difference was between regular and occasional clubbers. Regulars were nearly twice as happy, whether on drugs or not. So the key to enjoying a rave doesn't seem to be the drugs, but how often you go. You learn to like it, and the way you do that is by going again and again. But perhaps most surprising of all, reports of feeling sexual across the board were low throughout the night. They stayed at a quarter of the level of positive feelings like happiness and fulfillment.
I'm a bit surprised that this large number of young people in their late teens, early 20s, who are relatively scantily dressed, because after all the environment is very hot, very sweaty, and they're all dancing, how low the reports of them feeling sexual really are. One possibility, and this is actually borne out by talking to ravers, is that losing the tension, losing the anxiety of wanting to find a sexual partner is something that helps them to be more positive still.
I mean, I thought it was much better than the sex that I'd had, because it was just so much happier. It was with just so many people. And it was such a good shared experience that made it much more powerful.
Rave music is unique in Western pop culture. It has virtually no lyrics or melody. Where did such a sound come from? In the beginning was disco. By the late 70s, as the film Saturday Night Fever spawned imitators up and down the country, disco was already unhip. The new sound was coming from the gay clubs of New York and Chicago. Here, soul and funk were blending with synthetic electro-pop from Europe. Black dance music was being driven by the relentless rhythm of an electric drum machine to create a brand new beat, high energy. Then DJs began to mix records seamlessly. Songs didn't stop, the beat went on and on. The turntable became a musical instrument as DJs layered sound from one record over the beat from another. House music was born.